At this news hour, and many thanks for watching us with the news. I'm Shifarao Lako. The Multi-Sectoral Response National Ministerial Committee has decided to establish an emergency operations center in Matakkal Zone, Benishangul Gumuz Regional State. The committee took the decision in a meeting held yesterday to assess the responses to the socio-economic impacts caused by the law enforcement operations conducted in the northern part of the country. The committee also reviewed the efficiency of the emergency aid delivered to those community members displaced due to the recent security issues in Matakkal Zone. It further weighed up ongoing efforts to restore peace and rehabilitate people affected by the law enforcement operations in Tigray and the neighboring Amhara and Afar regional states. After the meeting, the committee put forward directions and decided to establish an emergency operations center in Matakkal Zone. The National Disaster Risk Management Commission said it has been providing humanitarian assistance to those people sheltered in the recently established camps in Matakkal Zone. Stakeholders discuss an election security plan tabled by the National Security Council of Ethiopia. The plan aims to make the upcoming 6th general elections fair, credible, peaceful and democratic, it was noted. The meeting, led by Chairperson of the National Election Board of Ethiopia, Birtukan Mideksa, and Minister of Defense, Kannaya Deta, brought together federal and regional officials. Birtukan on the occasion said an election security task force has been established for the upcoming elections. The board also announced plans to declare the final results of the elections from 6 to 28 June 2021. Over 6 billion seedlings would be planted in Ethiopia and neighboring countries in the coming rainy season, said Environment, Forest and Climate Change Commission. The Commissioner, Fakadu Bayena, announced the plan yesterday during a meeting with regional state officials and stakeholders in Adama City, Oromia regional state. Memoranda of understanding were signed with 8 regions and 6 universities to expand the Green Legacy Initiative to neighboring countries, he added. Identification of sites and preparation of seedlings is underway in Ethiopia and neighboring countries, it was learned. The country aims to double its 15% forest coverage to 30% by 2030. Ethiopia has planted over 9 billion seedlings over the last 2 years. That's according to ENA. Now, the TPLF should be accountable for violating an international law by launching rocket attacks into Amhara state and Eritrea. That's according to legal experts. Many diplomatic bodies, including the head of State Department of the U.S., have condemned these unprecedented attacks, he said. Emmanuel Jorge reports.
Before it was completely crushed, the TPLF junta launched rocket attacks in Bahir Dar and Gondar cities of Ethiopia and in certain cities of Eritrea, including Asmara. The global media analysis and some governments' reaction to this showed that the TPLF intention was to give the conflict an international image. Regarding this issue, legal expert told ETV that TPLF's rocket attack is immoral and violates principles of international laws.
At least in domestic situations, you don't see armed forces using rockets to attack their own people. First of all, it makes it very, on moral ground, it's very unjustified and very tragic also. Because the attacks in Gondar and Bahir Dar, these are heavy military operations that could target civilians. Because when you fire a rocket, the casualties, the collateral damage that these kinds of attacks bring on civilians is massive. Attacking even a friendly state with a rocket itself is a crime, and also it violates also principles of international law. Because Eritrea did not attack Ethiopia at that moment, so they fired the rocket without any provoked attack. That makes it a kind of aggressive kind of act, which is also barred by the UN Charter itself. And for me, because for the TPLF, this actually backfired, because When they fired the rockets, the idea was that they tried to demonstrate their military capability. But actually, if you see the diplomatic circle and the reaction was very swift, and every country and also the State Department of the US condemned this act. And they never expected, I think, that.
Ms. Embet also pointed out that the TPLF junta was getting rid of political parties that have strong political ideologies. Beyond their malicious acts, which have become vivid after the tension of their relation with the federal government due to the current reform in Ethiopia, TPLF had been absolutely suppressive of different political views than its old divisive ideology.
The deeply authoritarian political history of TPLF shows us that they will do anything to serve their political purpose. And it's very sad because this is not the psychology of the people of Tigray. When we see political protests in Amhara region, in Oromia region, in many places, I think there is a level of openness to have a voice for other political groups to make their concerns heard. In Tigray, for the past 30 years, you cannot have any kind of alternative political opinion. None at all, I mean. That's very tragic, by the way.
Admiring the government's patience over the TPLF clique's recurrent acts of destabilizing Ethiopia, the experts said no state in the world is capable of tolerating such crimes like Ethiopia.
A good Ghana player is both strong and skillful. You have
You leave the past behind. I had a dream that we could fly.
Welcome back. You're still watching this news hour. The Bali Mountains National Park is home to a large number of endemic species, not only in Africa but throughout the world. But the expansion of farmlands and mismanagement in the area has continued, threatening the park at an alarming rate. ETV has learned that a lot remains to be done to save the park. Daniel Kassaun has more on that.
The Bali Mountains National Park is located in southeastern Ethiopia, some 400 kilometers from the capital Addis Ababa. Its protected areas, as constituted by Bali Mountains National Park, are some 2,200 square kilometers large. Given the climate, the Bali Mountains are home to 20 animals endemic to Ethiopia, of which 5 mammals are found only here. They include the Bali monkey and the giant mole rat. Crucially, it is home to over half the remaining population of the Ethiopian wolf. Other species of mammals include the mountain neolad, the Menelik bushbuck, spotted hyena, lion, leopard, and African wild dog, all in extremely low numbers. The expansion of farmlands and mismanagement in the area has continued, threatening the park in an alarming rate. On the other side, stakeholders are pursuing their positive roles to avert the bottlenecks and conserve the park.
We have demolished more than 735 houses built illegally in the park. We are taking strict measures to save the park. We have also uprooted coffee trees of hundreds of households within 350 hectares. It's also disappointing to see all these interventions that threaten the existence of the park. Farmlands are expanding too fast. The people have also brought non-indigenous plants like eucalyptus trees, which are strange to the park. This affects the biodiversity of the area. We have cleared it.
So far, the people in the area have been using grazing and settlement in the park, and still now, the practice has not been prevented to the expected level.
There have been successive attacks on members of the Scots. This is also another grave threat to the park. There is still construction of houses in the park. We have tried to contain the problem, but the response is life-threatening. Clearing of forests for grazing land has remained to be a major problem of the park. The government of the Oromia region state, the community in the area and the park community are duty-bound to save the park animals and vegetation from extinction.
The Bali Mountains are best visited between November and February.